welcome back to another episode of Crafts for Kids. Today on Crafts for Kids, we're going to be making a watermelon garland. Did you know that July is National Watermelon Month? Let's get started. So first we're going to get what we need. Now that we got what we need, I'm going to show you what you need. So you need red, white, and green paint, and if you're using these paints that are squeezy, I recommend you use a paint palette too. You're going to need some yarn, paper plates,
paper towels, scissors, and a Sharpie,
a cup of water, and some paintbrushes. Now that we got what we need, let's get started. First, we're going to take a paper plate, go ahead, take a paper plate. Okay, now we're going to take our black Sharpie, or you can just freestyle it, and we're going to make one straight line across both sides. So it creates like a plus sign. And then you're going to cut that out. For this, you might want adult supervision. Okay, once you're done cutting out your paper plates, we're going to get started painting. You're going to choose one of these, and you're going to get your red paint. Paint palette. Move it down here. Don't need the string in these paper plates for now, so I'm going to put it down here. I'm just going to squeeze my red paint onto the paint palette, and then I'm going to start painting. You're going to paint this bottom part red and leave this little part here and this upper part blank because we're going to paint that later. Now that I've finished painting my red, we're going to let them dry. Oh, and also, if your paint is kind of light like mine, watermelons are usually pretty bright, so if you want, you can put a second coat on. Okay, now that we're done with the reds, we're going to start the rind, which is this green part up here. Mm-hmm. So, if your plate is white already, like this part, feel free to just start on the green. But mine isn't. Mine's like a blue, so I'm going to paint over it white so you can see the green better. Okay. Now that we painted it white, hopefully you can see the white a little bit, we're going to paint the green on. Okay, so for the first screen, it's on. Yeah, mine has these little stripes. So like that has a stripe, that has a stripe. If you can see them, your paper plate might not have those though. If it doesn't, you can make your own lines with a Sharpie, or you can just freestyle it. Okay, so now we're going to paint every other line with this green. Also, if you want, instead of doing every other, you can first paint the whole thing green, and then you can paint the light green strips, but I'll show you how to do that after. Okay, now we're going to paint those little squiggly lines on the rind. So for the mixture, you're going to add green and white together. And then if your paper plate already had the lines on it, feel free to just stay in those lines. If not, you can make your own lines.
Yes.
So now we're going to paint those on and we'll show you once we're done. Once you're done, it should look something like this. Now we're going to add the black dots or seeds. Okay, for this part, we're just going to take our black Sharpie and make little, like, what it looks like raindrops. And you can do different sizes, different directions. Because when you do them different directions and sizes, it looks more realistic instead of all like up and down and in a nice neat pattern. Okay, now that we added the seeds, we're going to put them on the string. So you want to leave a little bit of string so that you can hang it up and it's not right against the edge. You can cut holes and string it through, or you can tape it. I'm going to tape mine. So you want them pretty far spread out, but not that far. So like this. This is my first one and this is how it looks. And you're just going to keep doing that same thing all the way across until you're done with all of them. And this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed this craft for today on Crafts for Kids. I hope to see you next week. Bye!